Okay, so welcome everyone. So thanks for joining us. My name is Prateek and I'm the subject matter expert for data science at HeroWire. So I'm your host for today. And I'll start by telling you a little bit about HeroWire. So HeroWire is a virtual education company, which is part of the Hero Group. Uh, the Hero Wired is on a mission to not only reimagine the way you learn, but also, to build a better and brighter future. So we are here to equip our learners with the knowledge, skills, and expertise they need to find success. So what I'll be doing is I'll be running a quick poll, so you all can see it on your screens. So kindly go and take the poll where you can just mention some details about yourself. Right. So I am just launching the poll right away. So today we are presenting a webinar on the topic like careers in data science. Okay, and this is being presented by Mr. Gaurav Singh, who is the program director at HeroWire. So Mr. Gaurav Singh is a BTech in mechanical engineering with 15 plus years of experience. He is a seasoned data scientist, data science professional with experience in the BFSI and life science domains, primarily in the credit risk analytics, marketing analytics, pharma commercial model design, and ERP solutions. So welcome, Mr. Gaurav. With Gaurav, we also have Harshil Purana, right? So he's representing the career services team at HeroWire, and he will help you with all your career and placement related queries. Welcome, Harshil. So moving forward, if you have any questions during the presentation, I would suggest you to please type them into the Q&A section and not in the chat box in your Zoom panel, okay? So that your questions do not get skipped, right? So we are ending the poll and then, just give me a second. I think most of the people have submitted the poll. All right. So without any further ado, over to you, Gaurav.
Thanks, Prateek. Let me. So there is a deck for the reference of every learner. There are a set of slides that we want to cover. And the initial bit, Prateek, do you want to take that up or how do you want to go?
We can start directly from the data science and
okay. No worries. Yeah. No worries. So before I start sharing the deck, welcome everyone. Warm good evening to all the people who just joined. I'm Gaurav. Prateek, thanks for the brief introduction. I will provide a more detail on the background that I have, the work that I've been doing, and what is it that I'm doing at HeroWire. But just to respect everyone's time, the expectation from this webinar is to inform you more on data science program, the IDMA program specifically, to take you guys through the curriculum in more detail, and you can always ask questions around that, and to also address queries on the career aspects. That's where Harshil comes in. So I will talk about the IDMA program, data science as a domain, as a practice. What are we doing as a company in data science domain, and wherein IDMA program comes in. And I will also take you through the program details, curriculum, duration, and all those minor details I will be taking you through. So that's the agenda from my end, and Harshil will elaborate probably from his part when he takes over. So I'll get started, and I'll also start sharing our deck, which is again a reference. I will be going around the slides, which has, placeholders for program structure, what is the program, and then we can take it from there. And at any point you have questions, you can post it in the Q&A forum like Prateek already mentioned, and I will pause in between. Let's say if I see there is a related question where I'm at in the slide, and probably I'll park questions towards the end also if I feel eventually I'll have a slide which will answer the question. So that is how I plan to go. Okay. Now allow me a few minutes, to elaborate on the program, and I think some of the questions can be answered there. But just let me start. So there is a PowerPoint that I want to share. Give me a few seconds to share that. Please confirm, one person or two people can confirm if you can see the PPT PowerPoint that I'm currently sharing. If someone can please confirm. Great. Thanks for confirmation. Vijay and Raj, thanks. So data science, I believe most of you are familiar. It's a very hot careers in today's times. And as more and more companies are making use of data, right, for decision making, we are seeing that change in terms of different roles and where the demand in the job in the overall landscape is also increasing. So that's the reason data science is emerging as one of the most hot careers. Everyone is looking to have a place secure in data science world, whether it is at an entry level, whether it is at an intermediate level, or maybe as an expert level. That depends on what years of experience you already have and what kind of domain knowledge you already have. So we all know that it's a good field to be in terms of not only knowledge, skills, as well as commercials, the package. Now, it's not that data analytics is new, right? How can I say that? Because I have been in this space for almost 16 plus years. Back in the days, data science was not called as data science. It was called as data analytics. And the most popular algorithms or quantitative techniques that are applied in today's world were also there earlier. I remember working on those techniques on less famous platforms like Python or R. It used to be SAS back in the days, or let's say SPSS tools by Clementine and something of that sort. So it was prevalent earlier, but now because of advancement in technology, because of more open source technologies and platforms which have come. When I say open source, everyone can have access to these platforms. You can do code writing on your laptop. You can install Anaconda, you can install R Studio, and various other similar open source platforms, and go about scaling up. This was not the case, let's say 10 years back, or let's say 15 years back. As in, Python and R were still famous, but the adoption was not that high. The adoption was still low. And that is where the community wherein people share, ask questions, exchange views was also not that big. But with the advancement of technology and with open source technologies being available to everyone, more and more people started adopting it. And lately, because there is that volume of data which has increased, right? There is that scale of data which has increased, right? We are capturing data at every point. Any interaction with the mobile, whether it is a click, whether it is opening a website, whether it is ordering, let's say snacks from Swiggy, or let's say some order from Swiggy or Zomato, that is a data point that is getting captured. Now imagine various other businesses where data is being captured in a similar fashion. Any Facebook post, any Instagram message post is a data point. So you do understand that data in terms of volume has become very big. Okay. And so in a combination of advancement in technology, chip, open source technology, and the volume of data, information has become very critical. And various businesses, various domains are now basing their decisions on information rather than only business knowledge, or let's say only business judgment. So that is where as a culmination of all of these factors, data science as a field is emerging, and that is why the careers in data science are hot. So that is where I wanted to start. That's the point I wanted to start with. Now at HeroWired, we run various programs in data science at different levels. The program that I'm going to talk about today is the IDMA program. IDMA is an abbreviation which is Integrated Data Science, Machine Learning, and AI program. It's a very comprehensive program because it covers basics of data science, which is data analysis, working with Python programming. It goes to slightly higher level, which is applied statistics. Then it goes to predictive modeling. Traditional methods of predictive modeling are also taught. Machine learning methods are also taught. And then it goes to supervised, unsupervised, the recently developed techniques, and ultimately to deep learning, which again is a stepping stone to AI as an artificial intelligence. So the IDMA program, which is Integrated Data Science, Machine Learning, and AI program, is a very comprehensive program. It goes on for a duration of 11 months. Let's go into the details. So here are few information points. Now, what is different? Before I bring this slide up to you, before I give you all the details, what is different and how HeroWired is doing it different, right? Does anyone have a clue, or shall I start? Shall I reveal the answer to that? Just want to make it more interactive. If you can respond to that also. So how do you think the model that HeroWired has is different? Many edtech players are running the programs in different domains, including data science. How do you think HeroWired is different? Anyone has a clue? I will ultimately tell, but does anyone have a clue? Placement assurance, okay. Okay, that's not the right answer. It is one of the answers, but that's not what I was looking for. Okay, so the thing that is peculiar about HeroWired is we have the majority of program that is being delivered is through live lectures. Okay, most of the edtech players that you would have heard of, they keep only a small portion of live lectures. In HeroWired, the entire program, which goes on for 11 months, is delivered through live lectures. There is a very heavy component in terms of interaction, live interaction with the faculty. Okay, I will reveal that information in the next slide, but let me talk about the salient points. So live interaction is there. Every weekend, we conduct live lectures. Okay, let's say you enroll in this 11 months program, and let's say the lecture start from next weekend. From that weekend till 11 months, you will be interacting with the faculty every Saturday, every Sunday, 3 hours each. So 6 hours every weekend. And over and above, there will be a doubt clearing session, irrespective of what module we are teaching you. So that gives you 7 hours of live exposure with the faculty, which is where faculty will not only teach you concepts, right? But it will be an integrated learning in terms of case study discussion, business problems, and what is happening in the industry. And on top of that, the faculty itself is not coming from academia with academic background. I myself do teaching and I come from industry, right? I, like Pratik mentioned, I have spent 15 plus years in data science role, and I worked with companies like Extria, Genpact, and ICICI Bank Captive, which is BIU, Business Intelligence Unit. And that is how the rest of the faculty is. They come and interact with the learners. They also share their own experience of solving different problems, how a certain concept applies to a practical scenario that they had dealt back in the days when they were working. Or let's say they are still working with the companies and they are doing part-time teaching on weekends. How are they still facing those problems? How are they still finding solutions to those problems? So that is another area wherein the experience is different. Okay, I'll reveal more details now. So the IDMA program, Integrated Data Science, Machine Learning, and AI program, is a 11 months program. Let me go to that slide. It's an 11 months program. Okay, and it's it is in partnership with MIT. What do I mean by that? It is in partnership with MIT. There are a few modules that we are teaching. These modules are designed end-to-end by MIT. Okay. And these two modules specifically are machine learning and statistics. So there are two modules which are end-to-end designed by MIT, and HeroWired in partnership with MIT is teaching and providing that support to the learners who will register with us, who join us. Okay, and out of these 11 months, 7 months go in these two MIT modules. So you can imagine more than 50% is where you will be learning MIT stuff, which is taught to the students at MIT who actually take the live classes back in US in MIT institution in their first 2 semesters. So that is the stuff that we are going to teach you online. I probably mentioned the word online for the first time, but this is end-to-end going to be online classes, Saturdays and Sundays. Okay. And that total hours of live teaching is what you see down below. It is also a composition of live teaching as well as the bit of self-paced learning that you will be doing outside the live lectures, right? So let me elaborate what self-paced learning is. Over and above live lectures, you will be given assignments. You will be asked to watch videos as a part of self-paced learning, and then you will be working on projects. So considering the number of hours you will be spending outside the live lectures, we have come up with a number, and you add everything together. That is the total hours of learning that you will see in these 11 months. Okay. I already mentioned there is a large component of live instructor-led classes, which comes out to be 70 to 90%. Right? All the faculty that we have, whether it is HeroWired full-time faculty, I am one of them, or let's say we do take help of part-time faculty who work with us as partners, as collaborators. They come from industry. We hardly take anyone who is from pure academia. Everyone has had multi-years of experience doing the projects themselves in the data science space, whether it is predictive modeling, solving problems through applied statistics, doing programming from, let's say, development side, which is software development, or let's say visualization, or let's say data analysis, or whether it is developing top-notch models in ML and AI, which is deep learning. Okay, and then career services, I will probably leave it to Harshal. Now, at this point, everyone probably might be curious on what are the other modules. So I talked about MIT modules, the machine learning and the statistics, but then what are the other modules? Is programming being taught from scratch? Can I expect something on visualization? Can I expect something on, let's say, projects? What are the kind of projects that are given, right? So I'm sure those questions have started to come to you, and you can always post these questions in the chat. I'll also take a pause just to see what are the questions that have appeared on the screen, and maybe if time is right, I will answer them as well. I'm not from IT background, Anjana. Can you please elaborate that question? Are you asking the question more from fitment point of view, whether you are the right candidate, right learner for the program, or there's something else that you're trying to ask? Okay, and the other two questions, responses are more like an answer to the question that I asked, I believe. Okay, so these are the only 3 questions that I see so far. So I'll probably continue. Now, more details on the program, right? What exact modules are we talking here? So these are the modules. Okay, and the sequence that you see is just for reference. That's not the exact sequence that is followed. Okay, that is not the exact sequence that is followed. Okay, it is again for reference only, and I'll provide more details. What do we cover in each of these modules? Ravindra, I'll answer your question right away. For this program, industry experience is required or not? No, for you to get into the program, there is no such criteria of having a prior industry experience. Okay, but you will get industry application experience while going through the program. The kind of topics that you will get more depth of, the kind of projects that you will be doing, it will take you closer to having an actual industry experience. That is how the live classes are done. That is how the projects are designed. I hope I answered your question, Ravindra. So if I can request everyone to pause with their questions, I'll elaborate the modules, what is happening here, what are the key takeaways from some of them, right? So in this program, we usually start with basics of Python programming, okay, which is where you see this module. Okay, so Python programming is something which we teach from scratch, right? Day one is about installing the right IDEs, how to go about coding on your own machine, which is a better IDE. So day one, which is lecture one, starts from that. And we do expect learners to have certain programming background, whether it is in Python or let's say some other language. We do expect some bit of familiarity in terms of programming, because that is how you scale up faster in the program. You learn more in the time that has been allocated. Okay. And the Python programming is again divided into multiple parts. The first part is only pure programming concepts, which is variables, conditional operators, conditional statements, functions, user-defined functions, and then gradually more topics, right? Like libraries, what are libraries in Python? What are the common libraries that we work on, whether it is for data analysis, whether it is for visualization, whether it is for data wrangling, whether it is for machine learning, or let's say even advanced stuff, let's say NLP or CV. So we provide an overview in terms of Python programming. Then we go towards the application part of those concepts learned, which is how to handle data sets, how to work on databases, how to connect with SQL and get the job done in Python, and what are the quantitative methods in terms of data analysis. So you have a data and there's something that you want to understand from data, whether it is a certain insight, a problem that you're trying to answer, some business question you are trying to answer. So what are the quantitative methods? What views of data you should come up with, right? That is something which is taught as a part of data analysis. So again, Python is used as a foundation, it is used as a base, and learners while programming get the answers to those problems which I just spoke of based on the data. So any business problem which can be solved through data is what we teach as a next step, without using any mathematical algorithm, without using any machine learning algorithm. Okay, and that is the start of machine learning foundations. That is where we start telling you that without using a machine learning algorithm, this is where you can go. You can make qualitative comments about the results that you get, but for you to make a prediction in future, you need something more. You need something over and above. That is where machine learning comes in. Okay, so having laid out those foundations, wherein we also touch base the mathematics part as well, right? Why mathematics? Because you would know data science is more like an umbrella, and there are various subjects that come together and help you solve a problem. Programming obviously is an enabler, but there are subjects like mathematics. Within mathematics, you have calculus, linear algebra, and things like matrices, right? So all these subjects have to come together for you to enable yourself to solve a problem, at least in terms of handling data set in the right way that is required for model development. So those mathematics foundations are also refreshed. And again, for the same subject, it's always recommended for the learners to have a prior maths background. It's recommended, right? When I say it's recommended, if you have a background, I think it will be easier for you to scale up very fast. If you don't have a mathematics background, probably you'll need more investment of effort, right? Because we again teach things from start. You, with some level of motivation and investment of hours, you will be able to scale up equally well. That is what I believe. but that motivation has to come from your end. Okay, I will answer, guys. I will answer specific questions wherein people are providing more details about their profile. I will come to that. If you have any questions around what I'm talking about now, about the curriculum, please let me know. But I will come back to the questions which I'm holding for now. Okay. So we now have started our journey with machine learning foundations, where mathematics concepts are brushed up. We already have a good base in Python programming. Okay. Then we talk about algorithms, which is where foundations come in. So how different algorithms, broadly categorized into supervised, unsupervised learning, how they fall in place, what are the kind of business problems we can solve using each of them, right? And in industry, in let's say life sciences, banking, retail, or let's say maybe the different aggregator business that are running, right? Or let's say a BPO or some other industry, what are the key problems that are being solved today, and what is it that data scientists are working on? So we try to take use cases and try to relate whatever machine learning algorithm we are learning, how and where exactly is it being used in a certain domain. We take a lot of life sciences example, we take a lot of banking examples, and other examples also for people to relate with if let's say they are not coming from either of these domains, right? So that is where the industry application bit, the industry exposure becomes more and more strong. Any prior experience of coding required? I did answer that question. It's recommended to have a programming experience. That is how you can scale up fast, learn faster. But even if you don't have prior programming experience, we start from scratch. Now it is up to you how you cope up, right? How many extra hours you are willing to put to learn with that pace. Okay, but there is no barring, or there is no there is no stopping. Given you show the right kind of motivation and you are willing to invest those kind of hours, there is no barring. But having a prior experience will always help. Okay. Now, so far we have learned Python programming. We have revised the mathematics concepts. We have learned foundations of machine learning. We know what algorithm, what problem to solve. Now comes the statistics part, which helps you be more confident in whatever results you're seeing. Okay. So for any analysis that you are working on, that any analysis you're doing, right? Any problem that you're trying to solve, there's an analysis you will do, there's a model that you will build. But how do you become confident that whatever mathematical model is giving me is going to hold true every time? It could only be because of the data set that I've taken, and may not hold if some other data set is taken and I observe some other results. So how do you develop that confidence, right? So that is where statistics comes in, right? So statistics, I believe everyone knows, is a science, right? Over and above the machine learning bit that you do. It's a science of information, right? You collect data, you organize data, and you analyze data. And there are inferences that you can draw based on this statistical knowledge that gives you more confidence that the results that I'm observing are going to hold true. What's the randomness factor? What is the stochasticity in whatever I'm observing, right? So this module will help you build strong fundamentals on statistics. What are the typical concepts? What are the typical tests that decision makers use? Whether it is a problem of evaluating campaign performance, whether it is comparing two or more methods of learning, or maybe something else, maybe a simple regression model also. Okay, so by this time you will have a good grasp of the core data science profile, data scientist profile, because you know programming, you know machine learning, and you also know statistics. So this will give you a good handle on the core machine learning profile, core skill sets that are required from a data scientist. Everything else is deep learning. If you take a closer look, this is all deep learning. And here we are talking about frameworks. Frameworks is an enabler which will help you implement complicated algorithms in an easier fashion. So when I say frameworks, it could be TensorFlow, it could be PyTorch. And again, these are taught from scratch, right? And then there are broadly two directions that we take in terms of teaching deep learning. One is how do we apply deep learning in computer vision, which is image data analysis. Let's say on an image, what are we observing? Is it a cat or a dog or an apple, right? That is where we start with, and we take it to more complicated problems, which are again applicable in the industry nowadays. And the other direction that there is sorry, NLP, natural language processing. Now, both of these fields are, as in there's a lot of research that is going on. They are still evolving, but at the same time, industry has already adopted both of these techniques in their area of work, right? I know myself that back in the days when I was working in Extria and other companies, they were slowly adopting both of these techniques, the natural language processing as well as computer vision. And every day that is passing by, they are becoming more and more popular. By the way, this is the top-notch work that you will do as a data scientist. In the entire industry, this is the top-notch work, most complicated work that anyone as a data scientist is doing. Okay, so does this give you a good idea of what the entire curriculum is? I hope it does. Right, and this entire thing goes on for 11 months. sorry for that. Now, any questions that you want me to answer at this point? Now, there's a question on which one is good, data science or full stack developer. Depends on what you want to do. To me, both are good, but you have to define what good means and how are you defining it. Also, what is your personal interest? Okay, so I'll move on if there are no questions. Now, the kind of faculty we have, the kind of key faculty, I would say, as program anchor, right? So you can see from the experience, people have multi years of experience, not only working as a data scientist, but also in terms of teaching. We have Deepaman Sanyal, right? As you can see the credentials, right? I don't need to read it out. We have Gunwant Singh, and all of these people have, I think, so far handled, including me, have taught more than 1,000 learners sitting as of today. Okay, I would also want to show you some more information, some more of our faculty quickly. And almost everyone is pretty much working or has worked in the industry in data science space only. Okay, now when I say faculty, it could be a faculty who takes in live lectures, who is more regular with you, or it could be faculty who are visiting more like an industry mentor, who are let's say taking master classes, or who are discussing only case studies, right? So that variation is what we keep on bringing, just to have the academic side of things taken care of, also to highlight the industry application part as well, right? So Sanjay Tawakar comes from Max Life. He's a VP there. Then we have Rudra also. He's also working full-time in as a data scientist only, and he is a visitor faculty at Hero Wired, right? Then when we have Subhashish Majumdar, he's again a very renowned and good academician who brings in multi-years of experience in statistics and probability field. And we have Maurya, who again comes from IIT Kanpur. He also engages with us, helps the learners develop concepts on machine learning, deep learning, and other stuff as well. Okay, Harshil, if you're there, I believe I have talked enough. I can probably pause and take questions in more detail, but if you feel you want to start, please go ahead.
Absolutely, Gaurav. I'd love to give you a break a breather. Thank you so much for, in-depth sharing of knowledge of what our program stands for, who are the pillars behind our program, and what our learners can learn and, take the output. I hope I am audible enough.
Yes, Harshal. Loud and clear.
Awesome. So guys, my name is Harshal Paurana. I am representing the careers and the placements team at Hero Wired. So again, whatever the faculties are going to help you understand, whatever practice and knowledge you're going to garner during the course program content. Okay, you guys are going to come and implement that during the placement phase, and our team are going to help you find the best opportunities out there in the market when it comes to some really strong data science, analytics, MLAI kind of jobs, right? What we do in careers team is represented in this slide in a very graphical format. But yeah, I love to deep dive on this. So guys, the careers team is completely committed towards helping you find the best of the best opportunities, the kind of aspirations you have. And how do we come to know what kind of aspirations or what kind of jobs we should get you? We do individual career coaching session. Okay, so we have a team of 15 odd folks, and we have 3 champion career coaches in our team. The job is very simple. As soon as you enroll, guys, okay, they will get on a call with you. They'll spend some time with you to understand right now, okay, without any understanding of data science, hero-wide data science program. Okay, what's your current status in terms of your experience level, your educational background, where you come from, the kind of aspirations you have, the kind of motivation you have for joining our program. All this is heard very carefully, and then a roadmap is decided in terms of what should be your ideal path in the next 3 quarters, okay, with the time which you're going to spend with Hero Wired. Okay, so the career coaches are going to help you understand a plan of action in small buckets. Okay, so they will divide your entire program journey into small buckets, but everything keeping the careers phase in mind. Okay, so how they build your profile, they will start with your CV building, your LinkedIn building, and then suddenly once your program is at full throttle, okay, we will press on the fact that whatever assignments, projects you're doing, it should go on your GitHub profile. So all the small nuances are what our career coaches will help you understand. And of course then every 2 months they're going to connect with you, and every time they connect, okay, the intensity of the discussion, okay, on the careers part, on the part of what kind of jobs will suit your profile, what kind of companies should Hero Wired target for you, okay, it's just going to increase, and the discussions are going to get very interesting. Okay, all this information collected by the career coaches, okay, will come to the team called as the corporate relationship team, which are responsible. The folks in the corporate team are responsible to go out there, speak to different companies, get them on board as hiring partners, and ensure that your profile, if it's matching the kind of jobs they are having and the kind of aspirations you guys are having, okay, if it's fitting the criteria, we share your profile for their review and ensure that you start getting opportunities by sitting in the interviews, getting assignments, getting case studies, and one fine day getting the best of the best offer. Okay, so every quarter at Hero Wired, we have around 250 to 350 hiring partners as in the companies which are coming to hire from our talent pool. It can be a mix of MNCs, it can be unicorns, it can be early stage startup, Series A, Series B funded startups, and they come for majorly full-time opportunities. But in case a few of you all feel that, okay, you are fresher or probably you are currently not working, okay, if you feel that internship is something which will help you to also enhance your hands-on skills, because a lot of companies do have this criteria that, hey, there will be an added advantage if somebody has already worked on data science or has done some kind of internship or projects. Okay, so all these things makes your CV very strong, and this information when passed to certain companies will always give a brownie point to somebody coming from a decent background, probably from an internship background, probably from a project background. But that's said and done. Okay, you don't have to worry, because our faculty team, our content team has ensured that even if you're a working professional, if you don't have time to do any kind of internship or external projects, our own projects, okay, our capstone project, the kind of assignments Hero Wired gives is so cutting edge and so hands-on. Okay, those kind of mentions on your CV and LinkedIn profile will enable our team, the careers team, to showcase you in a very positive way that, hey, here are some serious candidates for a data science, data analytics, MLAI centric jobs. So that's what career coaches do. Okay, so minimum of 3 to 4 interaction is the minimum. There is no limit on the number of times you can discuss your case with the career coaches. It's an open platform where we will give you all the possible links to book their calendar and speak to them. So a very important pillar of the career coaching, the careers team, is a career coaching part. Then comes the interview preparation part. For example, Harshil is an IDMA learner from Hero Wired. He has got an interview set up at a company called as Licious, okay, which is a fantastic food tech company. Now we don't, at Hero Wired, we are very sure that we don't allow any of our learners to go unprepared to an interview, because you never know that you know, it can be a dream opportunity. It can be like a make or break thing, because one bad interview in a aspirational company, in case you don't clear it, there's a cooling down period of at least 6 months in a good company. So that means for 6 months, Harshil will not be able to apply back to Licious, even though he feels that Licious is the right brand. He has the right skill set, he has the right profile, but one bad interview, for 6 months, Harshil will never be able to apply to Licious again. So to ensure that, you know, all such things don't happen, we have a very fantastic, you know, interview preparation, team at the careers team, inside the careers team, where we again analyze your CV, analyze your LinkedIn profile, because these are the two very important things which are going to be like the marketing collateral for most of you all when we share it with the partner company. Apart from that, in case you get shortlisted for an interview within 24 hours time period, okay, we give you in GIT. What is GIT? GIT is just in time interviews. So Harshil, after getting shortlisted by Licious for a data science job, the JD, Harshil's CV, is shared with one expert inside Hero Wired, or we will try to get somebody, an external faculty. They will basically analyze the role, understand it, understand your profile, and give you a proper mock. It will be like a role play, where first 30-35 minutes is where there's a role play involved, where the faculty is going to impersonate a panelist from Licious, ask you, you know, all the questions which are like icebreaker. Tell me something about yourself 5 years from now, etc., etc. And then coming to the technical side, coming to your projects, coming to your work experience, etc., and grilling you down to understand whether you are fit for the job or not. Okay. And the last 15-20 minutes will be an open feedback, where the faculty in charge would explain you what went right, what went wrong, what are the areas where you need to work to excel in the interview, which is tomorrow or day after tomorrow or in the coming week, right? So just in time is something which we take very seriously. Even before just in time, what we do is, you know, we give you series of mock interviews. Okay, this is a part of a program journey only. As I said, the career coaches are going to break up the program into different buckets, wherein parallelly with your live classes, assignment, projects, careers team also starts preparing you for the main placement phase right from day one itself. Okay, so after every interval, once your certain modules are over, there will be mock interviews given to you to understand how are you progressing when it comes to your interview preparation skills, so that when the final interview at a certain company where you are shortlisted comes, you are very well prepared. So mock interviews, CV reviews, LinkedIn reviews, just in time, you know, interviews are something which we take very seriously, and these are something which happens during the course of the program. Okay, we also take very good care of your soft skills. Few of you who are not very sure of your spoken English, or are not very sure of any kind of skill set which will are important during an interview or an interaction, may it be telephonic or a video call, are something which we take care of. Okay, today's world, okay, at least 30-40% of the company still, even after COVID has diluted down quite a lot, has remote working culture. That means their entire hiring process also happens remotely. Video interviews is an art, right from how you groom yourself, how you look, to your seating posture, to your facial expressions, the way you interact, meet and greet, everything is an art, right? and everything covers under soft skills. So we also have in-house soft skill trainer with the careers team who are going to again help you with understanding these nuances and excelling at how to give a great video interview or in-person interview as well, right? And of course, over the period of time, because it's a pretty long program, right? You cannot be left alone. There will be mentor assigned to you. Gaurav, who is the leader of the program from the program side, is going to assign you leaders and mentors from the content team, the faculty team. Similarly, you also have some leaders or mentors from the careers team who are going to be very vocal about your progress. Where do you stand? What kind of edits you need to make to your documents, CVs, LinkedIn, etc., and how to crack a certain job. Okay, majorly this is a career coaching part again. But in case there's some kind of bandwidth issues from certain career coaches, there will be somebody attached to you who are going to be your buddy or mentors to ensure that you are very well taken care of from the careers part as well. So guys, it's going to be a very good parallel journey where there is a learning happening on one side, where Gaurav and team are going to be like specifically ensuring that you get the right skill set technically, tech wise, right? And on the other hand, our team is going to run parallelly with you to ensure that all the important aspect of making you job ready, career ready are also in place, because both the things, your learning part or your career prep part, are not something which will happen overnight. Okay, the more time we invest, the more patient you are, the better you get. Okay, and that's why this is a little longer program, so that one fine day when Gaurav is like very sure that, hey Harshil, I think the program duration in terms of content is over to you. We are very confident to welcome you all in the placement phase and start getting companies for you guys. So that's something on the career counseling, career coaching, and interview prep side. We also try to get external projects. As I mentioned that, more projects you do, better off for you in terms of having a very strong CV and LinkedIn profile or a GitHub profile in place, right? So apart from the projects, Gaurav and team are going to give you, and the program gives you, okay, we also try to find out certain projects which will enhance your data science understanding and give you certain brownie points on your CV. Again, this will be voluntary. This is majorly for freshers who have absolutely zero experience, or people who are not working, who can dedicate time. For working professionals who are already involved in their Monday to Friday jobs, who are going to take out time on Saturday, Sunday, Hero Wired capstone projects and other assignments are more than sufficient. And of course, placements, right? Most of you all, 99.9% of you all are here because one fine day you want to see yourself becoming a data scientist or an analytics professional or an AI ML engineer, etc., right? Something related to data science, and that's what we are here for. Everybody, right, from the faculties, from the delivery team, from the careers team, are going to ensure that what you have aspire to become, you basically get the output during the end of the program, and you're a proud Hero Wired learner. So that's a journey for you guys. Unlike other institutes and other players, right? We believe that right from day one there has to be an interaction between the learners and the careers team. And also, in case some of you are open to explore opportunities even before the program ends with your current skill sets, we are pretty open to help you out. Okay, but yes, ultimately the objective is to ensure most of you all of you all get placed as data scientists or analytics or AI ML professionals. So that's what we do at the careers team, guys. Probably at end of the session, I and Gaurav will love to take questions from you and dive deep on any doubts, queries which you guys have. So yeah, Gaurav, I think I am done in terms of explaining them what we do at careers team. I think Gaurav, you're on mute in case you're speaking.
Okay, I did not notice. Thanks. Prateek, if you're there, both Harshil and I have, completed giving information on the respective parts. Right? Is something specific you have noticed we have not answered? Or if you want, we can leave the floor open for Q&A.
Sure. So first of all, thanks Gaurav, for this wonderful session, and thank you so much, Harshil, for putting that effort in making the candidates understand about the entire career services aspect and how we deal it at Hero Wire. So now we will go ahead and take some time for the questions now. I think Gaurav, you have already answered most of the questions which were put in there in the Q&A session. Just a reminder to everyone who is attending the webinar to please type your questions in the question box in the control panel you see. So so we can answer those questions maybe verbally, or Gaurav, you can take it there. So if you have any questions, guys, please type it in the Q&A section. So Gaurav, meanwhile, any specific question that you would want to cater to in the Q&A section, which might help the other candidates as well?
Right. So there are couple of questions on, asking if there's any criteria as such for learners to enroll. People are asking whether they need a prior IT background or a related background. So domain-wise, there is no criteria as such. There is no barring that people from certain domains can't enroll in the program. That is not the case. Let me clarify. There are a few skills that we recommend learners, if they already have, they will do a lot better in terms of what we have seen. Mathematics background, 10+2 mathematics background, and prior programming experience. If you already have this, I think you are the perfect candidate for the program, because rest everything is something you can learn very quickly. But having said that, it will also not stop you from learning all of these concepts afresh, because we teach these concepts afresh. Now, relative to a learner who already has this knowledge, these skills, right? Your pace will be slightly different. Okay. Someone who has done 10+2 and also has Python programming experience, or let's say programming experience in any other language, your pace compared to this kind of a guy will be slightly different. But since every concept is taught from scratch, right, there is a certain level of commitment that we expect from you. If let's say you're not coming from 10+2 and you don't have any programming experience whatsoever, right? If you feel you are a highly motivated person and you're willing to invest that additional effort, I think the space is open. The sky is blue, and there's no barring criteria. We don't stop anyone to enroll and become a part of Hero Wire family. And you will have ample support in terms of faculty, teaching assistants, content, good content being provided. Content is not something that we only show in lectures. Content is something that is also handed over to you for you to self-read. There are books that we suggest that you can go through, right? And not that the entire book is just thrown at you, just go and read it. That's not the case. We tell you specifically for the topic that we are going to teach, this is the chapter, these are the pages that you need to read and come. And it's also not that the entire 10+2 mathematics is something that we will teach in 11 months. That's again not required also, and not possible. But specific areas in mathematics that are very commonly used in machine learning, and it's very good. It's kind of expected for a data scientist to know those subjects, is what we specially focus on. And anyone who has a good level of motivation, is willing to put that kind of a commitment, can actually scale up, because that support is there. That support is provided by the faculty, not only in terms of live teaching, but ample guidance and resources are being provided. So I wanted to clarify, because that kept on coming as a question. Harshil, there are a couple of questions on careers also.
Sure.
Offers and
some questions.
Abroad placement.
If you can, Harshil, just put a light on that.
Sure. Data science was a full stack developer. Which one is good for long term and also for abroad job? Okay, I'll just take the first one, guys. Both of them are very different. Okay, data science and full stack development are way too different. One is into software and one is into a proper data centric work. It's about what you like, right? Data science will not, as Gaurav rightly pointed out, right? With a minimum understanding of your mathematics, statistics, in case you have a bit of background, you're good to go for data science. But usually it's not an uh, thumb rule that somebody has to be from certain background. In the past, we have seen people excelling at this domain, coming from various different background. It's about intent. It's about how open you have to learn, unlearn, and excel at this. Okay, full stack development probably would still, I would say, require a bit of uh, decent background into software. If you're an engineer from computer science, IT, EXTC, etc., would definitely help. But again, you cannot compare this to, it's like comparing apples and oranges, right, Gaurav? There is apps, they're very different. It's about your aspiration, what you exactly want to
Correct.
do.
Right. And slight bit of inclination also, Harshal. I think I answered that question, but I can elaborate. If you are more towards, let's say, if you see yourself in a role wherein you love talking to a client, solving problems which don't look or which are not evident as a technical problem, which are more business problems, right? Companies who are trying to increase their brand value, trying to increase their market share. These are not technical problems, right? These are business problems. But how can you solve a problem like that? How can you recommend a company that follow strategy 1 or strategy 2 or something else to increase your market share? How do you beat the competitors? You again don't give a technical answer to that, right? So there is a business problem that you're trying to solve. But how can you solve it? Using some historical information of that same company or maybe some other company that worked in the same space and had the same market share. So ultimately you rely on data set, right? And then you don't have an exact path carved out key. If I take 4 steps, I will reach to the solution. No, it is about exploring, thinking the right approach, asking yourself the right questions, and then working on the data, applying the right techniques, whether it is quantitative techniques or some machine learning algorithm or some deep learning algorithm, and arriving at possible solutions which you will again contemplate on and discuss with the client. And there will be rounds of discussions. uh, client will like some solutions, they will like some approaches. You go back, do some research, and then again give a solution to the client. That is what a data scientist does. And in all of this, uh, the part of technology is an enabler. It is helping you answer the question, the business problem solution. That is what data scientists do. So if this is something that interests you, go for data science. But full stack is a different field altogether. It is technical all through and through, right? And it does comprise of learning programming in different areas of application, whether it is HTML, CSS, which is the web part, right? The CSS and HTML are languages that are used for web development, whether it is for beautifying a web page or whether it is actually building and standing up the structure of the web page. Okay. Similarly, softwares which are related to full stack, React, Angular, and Python also. Python is very widely used in full stack development. But in full stack, largely it is a development project, whether you're developing an application, maybe application which is web-based or maybe server hosted, whether it is developing a website, a running website, right? Or maybe a project that some IT company is trying to execute for a client they have. So there is some custom requirement that the client has, and they want to run, let's say, some business rules, which is where they want users to interact and use those rules. So they come up with an idea that let's design this application wherein only employees can log in. When they go in, they can pull data, they can do this analysis, they can make some decisions based on that. So it's a custom application that the client wants to build, which is where the service provider, who will always have a team of full stack developers, will design the project end to end, understand the requirement, and provide a solution on technical lines that this technology is what we will use. We will use some kind of cloud space also. This is how it will cost you and things like that. But end to end, it is technical. So that is what the full stack development is. And again, I'm not an expert in full stack, so the bare minimum information that I had, I just provided you. And now it is again up to you. I have not answered your question, which is better, but I have given you enough information for you to answer it yourself. Which of these is what you want to do?
Great. Okay, I'll just take the abroad placement question. Okay, great. Okay, guys. Right now what we are doing is, whatever hiring partners which we have, okay, a very minuscule percentage would be companies from abroad, just because the aspirations of our learners currently are majorly inclined towards certain companies which are like unicorns, MNCs, etc. Okay, again, the career coaching call will be where we will understand your aspiration, but I'm not sure where are you coming from, as in, do you want to know, do we have placement partners which are international? So currently very few, just because we want to ensure that the companies which are here, which are going to be accepting most of you as future data scientists or MLAI or analytics professionals, are the ones we are catering right now. But yes, we are pretty open to explore opportunities for international brands. In fact, today we had 3 of our learners who are giving their interviews for internship within Mexico-based brand. So the answer is yes, we are working. But yes, compared to the companies we are catering to India, it's a very minuscule part right now. Okay. What is the minimum CTC data science offered in HelloWire? Okay, guys, it depends on company to company. The startups offer a pretty decent amount. Anywhere for freshers, it will be starting from 7 lakhs, 8 lakhs, and go up to 12 lakhs for freshers. And MNC will pay a little low, just because they are basically having very huge teams of data science analytics professionals. So an MNC would start at around 4.5, 5 lakhs and can go up to 6, 7 lakhs for a fresher. Coming to experienced folks, again, every company will have a different criteria. They have slabs at what experience level they look at a different fitment. But yeah, for a startup, anywhere from 7 lakhs to 20, 25 lakhs for a 0 to 5 years is the what the range should be. An ideal average range, okay, but still it will depend company to company. But yeah, you can take this as a ballpark figure, 7 to 25 for a 0 to 5 years kind of an experience range. There's a question, Gaurav, from Anjana. You guys will teach me 10+2 maths also, so can I enroll and learn easily, as there is job guaranteed?
Yeah, I've answered that
you have
separate.
Okay.
I've already answered that.
Okay.
So again, 10+2, I'll provide more details. See what happens in 10+2. We as students, as back in the days in school, we learn various topics in mathematics over and above 10. So till 10th, mathematics is at a very basic level. Everyone can manage. Only people who take science and maths, or let's say economics and maths, or let's say arts and maths, get to study maths. And there is that 2 year of teaching that happens, wherein different fundamentals are taught. Calculus is taught from the basics. Concepts of coordinate geometry, linear algebra, how functions are working, first order derivative, second order derivative, minimum, local maxima, things are taught. Matrices as well, right? Matrix operation, determinants. Now, whatever a learner learns in 2 years can obviously not be taught in 11 months. That's a fact, right? But having said that, not all of those 2 years content is used in machine learning. Not all of that is used in data science. Okay, the specific topics that you should understand by heart, right? You should be crystal clear in the concepts are functions, sets, linear algebra, again to a certain level, not in great depth, not a PhD level guy. You don't need to be a PhD level guy. And you need to know the basics of calculus as well. Okay, and it can be learned. It can be learned in a period of 2 to 3 months with a committed effort. Let's say you don't have an exposure, it can still be learned with a committed effort. I am using that word very cautiously, committed effort, which has to come from learner.
Absolutely.
Right? And HelloWire does believe in the idea that someone can learn anything. Anyone can learn anything, right? So with the right support, obviously, and the right commitment, right? So I have seen learners who have done very well in mathematics, in programming, without any prior experience, without any prior exposure. Why? Because they did not move. They did not move from that place. They did not, give up that this is not beyond me. I can't do this. Right. But they also invested a lot of effort every week. They would participate in lectures very proactively. They won't hesitate in asking silly doubts. I don't think any doubt is silly doubt. They did not hesitate. Sir, I don't know this. Can you please elaborate? And I would do that. Other faculties will also do. And over and above, we'll give them reading material, study material to go through. They'll go through it and come back and ask the questions. So that is the commitment. If you are willing to spend, there is no stopping, and nobody is there to stop you, like I mentioned already.
Absolutely.
But my job also is to clarify that it is not going to be easy. Right? My job here is to also tell you and make that picture very clear. The commitment has to come from you.
I think, Gaurav, I was just going to add to that, because this is very well put. So guys, it does not happen like that. You have paid the fee, you're not attending the classes, not doing any projects, and one fine day you say, Harshil, Gaurav, I think 7 months done, my capstone started and I want placements. It does not happen like that, right, guys? So just like Gaurav said, okay, everything is there up for grabs. You have the best faculty, you have the best content, you have the best support in terms of our delivery team. Your program mentors will be there, the careers team will be there. Okay, it's on you. How do you leverage all of us, right? And one fine day, not only complete the program with flying colors, but also get that dream job of an analytics or a data scientist or an MLA professional, right? So it's a two-way thing. We are there to support you. We are going to put our heart and soul. We are ready to burn the midnight oil as well. But yes, the kind of intent, commitment has to come from you all, which will encourage us that, hey, we also have to go beyond our call of duty and ensure that you guys get what you deserve. You guys have paid a bomb to us. We are going to ensure that you guys get the desired output. So that's something which I and Gaurav would really like to press the fact that the commitment has to come from you guys.
Yeah. Because there's no point in making false promises.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's be fair. If we don't start on a honest footing, right, it does not end. It does not last for long. And it's always fair, Harshil, I would agree with you. It's always fair to make that expectation very clear.
Absolutely.
On the onset of it, upfront.
I and Gaurav can actually go very deep in giving you some success stories, but of course, there is no point, diving very deep. But trust me, guys, we have seen some amazing, success stories in the last few days, which we are very proud of. Coming from a very, very different background, that the learners have committed to certain level of, the patience, the kind of efforts they have put in, the kind of two-way interactions they have had with us, and after certain failures, they have got the dream offers. Okay, and of course, the credit to the faculty, the program team, but yeah, the final credit goes to the learner, because they were the ones who have put in that heart and soul and ensure that they leverage our strengths, the Hero Wired team strength, and find the best possible opportunity. So there have been a lot of success stories in the past. Probably you can look at our websites and the LinkedIn pages where we have amplified a lot of success stories for you to get motivated and ensure that one fine day you also can reach to this pinnacle, and you can trust us. But yes, not without your commitment.
Yes, and with that level of commitment comes the reward also, right? There is that value that such a reputed program, the certificate of it carries, right? That alone will probably not ensure that you get placed. Obviously, it has to be a combined effort, faculty as well as from the learner. But with the kind of commitment that you are willing to put, there is a reward, which is the certificate that you get. And in IDMA, as some of you already know, the modules that we cover are from MIT. So once you complete those MIT modules, you get a certificate from MIT also, right? That is a certificate that you'll get from MIT, and you already know the value of that certificate coming from an institute like MIT. And probably it's the right time to also bring to the forum that the IDMA program has stood first in the top 10 programs that any player is offering in the edtech industry today. It's the top-notch program that is being offered by all the players combined in edtech. Okay, regardless of being data science or not. So probably you should make a note of that as well. So there is that value. There is that value that the program has. There is that value, that certifications that you will achieve from the program have that value. Question from Ravindra. What was the placement percentage in the previous batches?
Got it. So Ravindra, we have a very dynamic system. Okay, we basically uh, combine all the batches together. All right. So currently we are around our batches which were over 3 months back are the ones which are placement eligible. Okay. One of the batches, I think the FT batch, Gaurav, can I give the example of that batch? So we are
Yes.
already at 65% for that batch. Only a few handful of learners are still remaining. And as I said, today they were under their interviews. So matter of time, we are looking at December end to get that batch completed. And the way we are growing every month, we are having new batches. And as I said, most of them are working professionals. So we want all of you all to be committed enough to complete your modules in a certain time frame. So right now the batches which are completed, the full-time batch which we had is around at 65-70%. So that's the confirmed figure which I can commit to you. The newer batches which are still under the placement process, I don't have the figures right now, just because they have completed the program as of last week. So that will be very premature for me to give any kind of figures right now.
Yes. And the batches themselves are still undergoing, right? It's not that the batches have completed, right? And one thing that Harshil did emphasize earlier is that support from career side does not end on batch end, right? It is there with
Yeah, by
you.
the way, Gaurav, a good point. Okay, guys, one more thing. Okay, we have our lifetime placement support. Okay, so even if you get placed, for example, Harshil got placed after the program is over. After 6 months again, okay, Harshil can again, come on the portal which we have, the Hero Wide portal, and start applying for the jobs. Okay, so that's the kind of culture we have at Hero Wide. Okay, it's a lifelong placement support. And of course, now that our batches are graduating, our learners are getting placed, they become an alums. And in fact, a few of them have come back to us that, hey, my company is hiring. I am going to take interviews. So, I would love to post certain jobs for my juniors as well. So that's the kind of culture and the ecosystem we are building at Hero Wired. Okay. So the placement support never stops. And you guys can keep on coming back to the portal every now and then after your placements in case you find something interesting. We would love to again cater to you guys.
There are a few more questions that are coming up.
I think that's one
One is
from
coming
Pratik.
chat.
So I have just mentioned, guys, if you want to know more about the data science program
Right.
that are offered by Hero Wired, so you can write us, write to us at hello@herowired.com. Okay, and we will definitely get back to you regarding any of the questions or the queries that you have. Apart from any other questions that we are getting in within maybe 1 or 2 minutes. Otherwise, I think Gaurav, Harshil, we are good to go to wrap up the webinar. So guys, any other question could last 1 minute if anyone has any specific questions to ask. I think there was one question related to, the EMI options available. So definitely let me tell you that we do have certain EMI options available. You don't need to pay the entire amount in one shot. There are certain no cost EMI options available, and also there are certain options wherein, you can also get a longer tenure with a short amount of EMI with maybe some interest cost involved. So definitely, if you require more details on that, our learning consultants will definitely get in touch with you.
I'm just ending it.
So I believe I don't see any other questions coming up, right? So thank you, Gaurav, and thank you, Harshal, for this wonderful and informative session. And thank you everyone for being such a lovely audience. We will see you again with the one exciting webinar. And till then, wish you all the best, and have a great day ahead. All right. Sure.
Thanks, Pratik. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
And thanks, Harshal. Thanks
Hey,
to all the
thanks,
learners.
Gaurav.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, learners. Take care.
Take care.
Bye. Good night.